Tarun, thank you for taking time today and for having this conversation with me. I know you for a long time already, so I thought it would be awesome to share your story, to share your experience with the coaching, but also your journey, because I think it's very inspiring for a lot of people in India, but also internationally, who hear you, see you, and maybe get inspired. So, for those who don't know you, can you introduce yourself very quickly?
Yeah, hi, my name is Tarun Goyal. So I'm a professional poker player. So from past 10 plus years. So I started out with cash games, but now my volume has shifted a lot into MTTs because I've studied a lot of MPTs and I kind of made a decision that I enjoy playing MPTs more than cash games. So I kind of shifted my volume a little bit more into MTTs. I'm playing all the high stakes that are available in India. So that's up to 2550 and sometimes short taking at 50, 100 for cash games and normal tournaments like 500 and 1K. So I've been doing really good.
I would like to talk with you about the coaching. And because I remember the first time we ever worked together was 1, 2, 3 years ago.
Mhm.
How did you feel before we started working together? And what was the shift for you where you started to tell yourself or ask yourself, do I maybe need a mindset coach? Could this benefit me? And when was the time where you got in touch with me?
So I think we got in touch in 2021, if I'm not wrong. I was struggling with a lot of issues. My game was good, but most of my losing sessions were happening because of mindset leaks. Even there, then we worked for like couple of months, I guess, and I had really good performance in those 2 months and later on as well. And then we recently again worked together for T plus months and during these 3 plus months, I got like a lot of these lack of problems that already came up again getting resolved. Even if some of the issues still remain, the mindset issues, I have find out a direction that I'm moving into, like with the help of smart goals and other techniques. Those were like negligible, whatever remains, but most of them were kind of resolved, and I had like big upswing in these 3 months and continuing still.
And one of the most important things why a lot of people from India specifically like to work with me is because I like to hold my clients accountable. I think that is something that makes me and the coaching unique, because I'm always saying it's not mindset coaching, right? It's called mindset mentoring, as you see here in the background. So I think holding someone accountable is a big, big part, because to be honest with you, a lot of people are lazy or they just like to, chill. That's just how we are. We want to always take the path of least resistance. So I don't
Yeah.
think that's something that is bad per se. It's just how we build.
Like you were there for me, help me come out of those mindset leaks. But actually, just being a catalyst and a person who can make me realize those things and then put me on the right track, along with like a life pause, you get connected with other people, so you make friends with them. So that's also helpful in the journey.
Yeah, and you already answered my next question, which was how did we work together? And as you said, we had the modules, which is exclusive content for my clients. You have the client calls or the community calls where you can connect to like-minded people. Some people find their study partner, their long-year study partner. Or I also work with beginners who can maybe then get in touch with people like you or other advanced clients who then become coach and student, for example. I also had situations like that. And then, of course, we had our calls where we really tried to dig deep, and where I really liked what you just said about making sure that you unlock your strength, which were basically dimmed by the mindset topics that we talked about. So I really like the wording that you just used. Based on your own experience, and I know that you have a lot of friends in the Indian community, but also internationally, who would you recommend work with a mindset coach? Because it's also a question that I get asked a lot. When should someone work with a mindset coach? Because, for example, a lot of people say, oh, mindset, like I have a good mindset already. Like, why should I work with a mindset coach? Yeah, what's the benefit of it? So, what would you say about it?
I feel like when you are just starting out with poker, maybe you might not need it when you are just say you are into a job or business that you're already doing and you kind of suddenly discover poker and you are starting out in poker. Maybe you still don't need it because you still might not be exposed to any of your mindset issues yet, and you still having those excitement for the game, right? And that opportunity that you can earn money online or playing live, right? So, but as you develop into your career, the 6 months have passed or 1 year has passed. So those mindset issues are gonna come on surface, right? Even while you're playing cash games or while you're playing empty, those things are gonna come up on the surface. It could be more for some people. Those issues could be less for some other people. Like say if you are in really good shape or stuff like that, maybe you could be better at handling stress, then you're not in good shape or slightly less good shape. So it's like subjective, but you're still gonna experience some mindset issues to some degree, right? Because your overall winnings, your yearly, 2 yearly, 5 yearly, like your career, so it's gonna be defined with how less you can lose, right? In losing sessions, and like how well you can maintain your composure while playing a long 8 to 10 hour session. While you are like having a touch of the game at a certain point, like 6 months or 1 year, right? And you maybe decided to go pro, or even you have still not decided to go pro, you're still a recreational. At that point, I feel like you should choose a mindset coach, because you should be doing some techniques that are gonna help you keep that composure for the whole duration of your session, and also off the table, like so that the mindset coach is also gonna help you build healthy schedule outside of your poker, so that is in turn gonna help your poker game. It would give you more satisfaction, more winnings in the long term, because you're gonna live a more structured life, and that is gonna show up on the poker table. So yeah, someone who has just got into the game might not need it at just at the moment, but later on, after I feel like after 6 months or 1 year, yeah, yeah, you should go for a mindset coach if you wanna have a really good career in poker.
I would always answer this question the same way. I'm always saying a mindset coach is beneficial for everyone, because a lot of times, even if people say, I don't have mindset problems, but a lot of times we don't see it. Because if you would see it, you would be more aware of it, and then you could maybe solve it. So one of the cool things, or the things that I see a lot when people come to me, is people come to me and then they say, I only have one problem, just one problem. And a lot of times it's tilt, because that's what we experience the most, or the most intense, let's say, yeah, or cost us one of the most amount of money. And then I'm like, okay, let's see.
Yeah.
And then to solve tilt, you're laughing because you know what's coming, right? And then to solve, it's like the tip of the iceberg. To solve tilt, you need to solve something else. And to solve this other thing, you need to solve a third thing. And the third thing, the reason why I have this third thing is because of fourth thing. So you need to solve this, then this, then this, then this, right? And that's the beautiful thing why I work with my clients over multiple weeks only, is because a lot of times it's not just this one thing. It's not just tilt or this thing. It's a lot of things that are somewhere intertwined and some connected, and we have to unwind them, and then really make sure that you have like a clear path, and you know exactly what to do, and when to do it, in which situation, right? If you tilt, you know exactly what to do, you know exactly how to structure your day, as you already mentioned. You have a lot of things, a lot of clearness in a lot of things that you didn't really tap into. And I always say the higher you move up in stakes, the more important it is to work with a mindset coach. Because yes, if you play an average buy-in of $5, then learn the strategy first, of course, right? If you don't even know what to do with pocket aces pre-flop, then maybe you should first check out some YouTube videos and a solver. But if you have the strategy down, you will see that the higher you move up, people know how to play pocket aces, for example. Yeah, they know the strategy, they know GTO. But the difference, in my opinion, is that someone who has a good strategy knowledge and a good mindset will always have an advantage over someone who just has a good strategy but not a good mindset. So I think the higher you go, the bigger the edge gets with a good mindset. Since you played high stakes, you probably know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to share for people who saw this interview and might got inspired a little bit?
If you are into poker and you have chosen poker to be your like career for the next 5 years at least, or like it for a long enough duration of time, I would definitely recommend to enjoy your time, like feel like a sportsman, and don't just keep on playing poker, but live a balanced life, and you will be surprised how it has helped your poker.
Last but not least, Tarun, one special question that I have for you. Your next steps is to move to Dubai. right? I think a lot of high stakes players from all over the world, they move to Dubai. I think it's a beautiful country. Just curious, because that's something that is also in my mind. When would you recommend someone to move a country? And also, are you excited for the next steps? Are you excited to crush this year? And is that something that can motivate you even more to really say, okay, I'm moving somewhere else into a country that gives me so many benefits? And not just that, because I know you moved there with your family. So that's also a dream of a lot of poker players, to basically say, I can travel where I want, I can move where I want, and I can take my family with me.
I think like it could seem daunting at first, like to move countries because there are a lot of hassle, right, associated with that. But once you have identified that that is the correct move, moving forward, and it's good for you, your professional career, your personal life, I think you should take those hard steps. And because it's gonna be good at the end, it could be difficult initially, but it's gonna be fruitful later on. Definitely recommend to not delay these good things if you are in a position where you are delaying it for no reason, as I have myself delayed it a long time. Regarding excitement, yeah, I'm definitely very excited. I'll always be connected with my family. I'm with my who are gonna remain in India, to meet my friends in Dubai there. And uh yeah, looking forward to poker and a lot of other stuff that's coming up.
Tarun, thank you so much for your time. I'm sure a lot of people will get inspired. And I also know that a lot of Indian poker players, they look up to you because you've been everywhere. We know that you've been very successful, and you also started with low stakes at some point and moved your way up.
As for me, like past 6 months have been really good. Like I was struggling in MTTs. I was doing good in cash games previously, but I was struggling in MTTs. That was mostly due to some mindset issues that I was facing. So, but these 6 months have been really good for me because you acted as a catalyst, that a person who could kind of identify those mindset leaks and gave me some discipline and some techniques that I could follow. Even 56% of the game is mental, right? Be it empty, be it cash games. So you can't neglect that 50-60% of the game, right? As compared to chess, yeah, you might not need the mindset aspect might be 20-30% or something. But in poker, I feel like it's a little bit more, 50-60% at least.
The reason why I do those interviews is because I want to inspire people, because a lot of people, they think it's not possible to become a professional poker player. As I just said, you also started at some point with low stakes, and then you moved up and moved up and moved up, and now you moved to Dubai. You know what to do, you understand the game. That's a beautiful thing as well. If you understand poker one time fully, then you understood it, right? And you can always generate money. And that's the most beautiful thing that I love about poker. Once you really understand, of course, there are always like tweaks, that you have to adjust your game to. But in general, if you have the basics down, you can always generate money. And that's why I'm such a big fan of poker. And yeah, Tarun, thank you for taking the time. It was a pleasure to talk to you. I hope people got inspired. Thank you so much. Goodbye.